already. I'm going to hand over, and before that, I'm co-programming today and tomorrow's training with Me Mukoni. So in all said, I just said, hooray, you are welcomed, and the program is officially opened. Over to you, Ma'am Petronella, and welcome. Melinda Warundwa, can you hear us? Okay, whilst we are waiting for Ume Petronella, I'm going to call Abiti. I'm going to call Abut Arnold to just give us a motivational speech. Abut Arnold is one of us. Actually, he is here attending the G20. Over to you, Abut Arnold.
Tore. And how's everyone? Okay. My name is Mathebula Arnold. Born and raised in Mpumalanga. There's an area called Akonok, just outside Bushbuckridge. I oftenly, when I'm given this platform, I refer to myself as a son of the soil, a son of a struggle. If I can tell you, the struggle for persons living with disabilities, when I see struggle south, I have to make a living kasona. I've never went to an office car in Pencheleto or else Rikatoitoya. I've always said we deserve better, and I have scars fighting the struggle. I've been insulted even as early as when I was in primary. You know, I went to a primary called Litaba Special School. It's in Limpopo. There's an area called Zani. My first chant, it was because of Koskolong Selare Tani Fela. Rabaraka grocery nama. Reina then Batarea Pela the bunches for the whole week. And for that I said to her, Hanina Mayela Riwoniu Ifuduswa by trucks illegal, only to find that teachers had taken that night to their homes. But I grew up. I went to Philadelphia Secondary School. I believe Baba Moy Balina, you will know it, Siko Houting, Social Gube, Housing TUT for 3 years. When I was doing my grade 10, there was a time when the Gorobanawa school were being raped by teachers. I took that struggle. As a guy, I even lost friends at that time. But I made sure that more than 10 teachers got suspended, some of them got fired. My life was threatened. but I'll not continue. I went to TEFLUOP, I studied media and communications. We all know what you will be told what media and communications, radio stations as well. That took a toll on me because of Nexakring Mereko. But then I decided to go back to school. I went to University of Venda. I did international relations. Again, when I was doing my international relations undergraduate, that was in 2017, I was told, you will never work in the international relations space because of a trip international. You'll have to travel with anyone. But then little did they know that exactly was my calling. At my time, I served in the SRC. It was the first time someone who was voted into the SRC by people who did not have a disability. I served in the SRC for 2 terms. I served in the South African Union of Students. It's called SAUS, for 1.5 time. Actually, I was routed by the office of the Minister of the Department of Higher Education at the time, Prof. Blaine Zimande now. Because I used to write to him and say, how come Banaba disability in colleges have agreed the same benefits as Banaba disability by law or universities? How come during COVID, Banaba disability, they were left at home, but not gadgets? But my point of saying that fact, I want to tell you that, and this is my plea, on you, to say you must empower yourself on digital technology. When I started to go to varsity and doing research, I had to rely on my laptop. And you know, in varsity, you find in a class of 200 and 250 learners, you are the only blind person. Let me say how fail in that class. You are telling everyone but when you perform, you are telling them, I'm actually better than you. And I had to set a standard in varsity. And this is the same standard that even when I was given opportunity by the Department of Higher Education and Training, we want to employ you. Please come and work with us. There was a unit that deals with occupational health. This lady went to my unit of international relations. Before I joined, we can't employ a blind person. And then one director HR pushed for my employment at the department. When I joined in, I was given a laptop without a JAWS. And I was told to perform my duties. I stood up and said, look, this is not a favor. I went to school for this. You don't have a choice but to accommodate me. The same lady who worked for health and wellness, occupational health, came to the office and said, yeah, I told you all these people can't work now. They need their special office somewhere. Blindness was called to come and provide guidance on what needs to be done. By the time I'm in that room, they're talking about me, but not talking to me. Blindness became helpful. Give them guidance, and then they decided to buy my gadgets. For the first time, I had to draft a letter and a briefing to the Director General of the department, Dr. Kosinati Sish. And my chief director said to me, the DG is about to embark on a trip to England. You must go and brief him. By the time, I've never returned any document because I did not have gadgets. I went there and sat with the DG. I briefed him. He threw questions at me. I answered. Some others I said to him, my colleagues will have to help me. My colleagues helped me. We briefed the DG. When we finished briefing the DG, he said, "Are you sure you're a junior?" I said, "Yes, DG, but you have just approved the submission to appoint me." He said, "Wow, you are much more better than some of the seniors in your unit I've seen." For me, that meant a lot. From the whole Director General of the department. By the way, he's a doctor, more than 20 years in the field. For that English trip, he had to take out a senior official from the department and said, "I'm going with him along to England." Now, me being England, I was given an opportunity. I was given an opportunity to present on inclusive education. You see, you are in England is the first time you have been given an opportunity, and I presented on that. Now, here's what I want to tell you. It took me back to the fact that I was trained in varsity, and I took the opportunity to learn how to use a computer, to learn how to draft a presentation. Excel, you need to produce data, you need to analyze it, and you need what I think that's how they say it in Tswana. Don't look down upon yourself. But you need the skill that you're going to use in a workspace to fight. Because of when you're in the workspace, because of our bone, you can't do this. And by the way, by the time you say, "But let's see more, I cannot do this," yet there are gadgets in front of you. You are telling them, "Or nah, I'm just here to earn my salary and move on." Fast forward last year, some of my colleagues in international relations, some are abroad, some are doing other work. I'm left in the office alone with my gadgets. Now I'm told, "Huri, the new Minister of Higher Education needs a briefing. I need to prepare everything." I drafted everything, sent it to my colleague. My chief director said to me, "Arnold, I did not have time to read your briefing, but I realize it's 15 minutes before you can meet the minister. See yourself." Took the briefing, I went to the minister's office. I'm holding my brain briefing and her document to briefing. I give to the minister, and then she sits down and says, "Are you well?" I say, "I'm okay, ma'am." And she says, "Where are your colleagues?" I say, "I'm alone." She calls my chief director in front of me and says, "But Chief, are you sure that we can do this? We can schedule for other time?" He says to her, "No, Minister, just continue." I open my laptop, and she's shocked. But by the way, I understood, because for many people, it's a shock. Even right now at the department, when I'm touching my phone, people get shocked. Why phone? Now, I'm touching my laptop, and she says, "Can you start?" I said, "Yes." I briefed her on the political field between South Africa and Italy. I briefed her on the status quo of our relations and what we want to achieve. She said, "But what do you want to achieve, Arnold?" I said, "Minister, after these negotiations, I would like the department to have at least 5 persons with disabilities going for scholarships in Italy." She said, "Wouldn't that be expensive?" And I'm saying, if they go to Italy, gain the skills, come back to South Africa, because of it's just a waste of time. They now want big cars like you, want to sit in offices, want to pay tax, want to pay. contribute to the economy. By the way, re nyaka le ho dira bana ba bantši. And she said, then what's the plan? Karen, fine, you are going to Italy. After Italy, you are going to Hungary. Can't you tell the Hungarians, or at least they must give us number of scholarships? We understand that certain persons with disabilities, they will have to go with the assistant. She said, I don't know how is that going to be. Can you please draft a proposal and give it to the scholarship unit? I went to the director scholarship and said, Doc, here's what I want. He said, fine, give me a proposal. I'll see what I can do. Last year, November, one blind guy from KZN called Musa, I forgot his surname. He got a scholarship in England via the Commonwealth Scholarship. Two ladies whom are wheelchair users got a scholarship in Hungary. Right now we are preparing to send two persons with disability. One is albinism, one is blind, to Italy. Wow. Now the same minister says to me, Arnold, your people must not fail. I say, but minister, if this fail, it simply means that you have also failed. She said, now you're making your problems to be mine. I said, but it's a South African problem. Then she says to me, but how do we move this? I said, ma'am, the most important thing for me is digital technology. If you empower blind people and they're able to use the gadgets, you buy them the most expensive gadgets and they're able to use it. Can you differentiate my document and the document which was done by someone who can see? You won't, because of the documents will be the same. And Lerina will know that we are worth the amount of investment you have made into our education. I'm saying this to you to say, don't undermine yourself. You might be coming from the most poorest families. Some of you, your parents, might have thought, as but I want to tell you, the best disability awareness is not the one year worrying about a blindfolder motor. It's you entering an office and demonstrate your capabilities. I'm here during G20. One of the priorities that G20 is early child development. I can tell you that in our first week, it was Germany that said, in our work on our ECD, we must include disability. Just imagine, Germany stood up and said that. I supported them and said, actually, we need that. And Germany took over with it. Now, Germany is in the process of doing something called Constructor University for Digital Technology. They want to give South Africa 100 scholarships. I said, I want 10 for blind people. And with this 10, Asama Tomale Mafele is the beginning. Because of the most important thing is that for an inclusive economy, it has to produce an inclusive society. They are accepting that. And if you ever want to be part of a scholarship, it starts here in this room. Learn the best, get the best skills. It should. Don't undermine what this might be a small program or a learnership. I've got people who got jobs in government agencies from learnerships. I want you to look for a guy, you can call NYDA, and look for a good friend of mine called John Milolo. John Milolo was my senior in Philadelphia. He got a job at NYDA as a degree. Today, John is an LLB graduate. He's a law degree. And when John drafted paper, an argument paper, for us when we're at South, 7-minute disability desk, even Blaine Zemande once said, was this document drafted by you guys or is it an AI product? And he said, Doc, we can show you more than you think you can do. Zemande, you might think he's tall, but he's actually short. And that was the day I realized that he's short. Because of, he stood up and started to laugh. And what were we doing? We're saying to him, we are the most unfortunate societies. I decree these opportunities, guys. And amongst us, we think we're better. No, I'm not better. I'm just fortunate because of I was in the right space at the right time. I'm someone who can talk, but I want to talk and finish so that program may be. But the most important thing, guys, is this one. Be the best of yourself. I'll never tell you what I can change. Never think, worry, after 10 years, usaboni, maybe you were born blind or you became blind. Learn to accept yourself. Learn to understand, or even in your own family, bakasu understand the kamuka. Baba, when they will understand you, Baba, when they won't understand you. Baba, when they will give you opportunities, Baba, when they won't give you opportunities. Baba, Baba, when they want to use you as an opportunity. But the best you can give yourself is this thing called education. This digital space, it's a big thing, guys. From the stories that I've explained to you, I was left in an office alone. My colleagues were gonna come back to the office, but I used the opportunity because of, in my varsity time, I gave myself a space to talk about technology, about gadgets, about innovations, about AI, about the space, to computer na government. Learning what a combination of this key and this key gives me this. And I was able to demonstrate myself. It's the first time that G20 comes to South Africa. And every one of us has to be proud that at least there is a blind person representing us. I was taking care of 2 delegations during this time. The Brazilian's deputy minister and the Indonesian's head of delegations. I was with my assistant when I came here. He's the president of the SRC at the University of Northwest. That tells you that there's no limitations. I took care of that delegations from the time they arrived on Sunday. I've been moving around with the Indonesians and Brazilians. And the Brazilians in the morning when they were leaving, because 2 of them have left, 1 of them has remained to attend to these meetings. The deputy minister says to me, you know, I wish our persons with disabilities in Brazil can have this dedication we have. When we're talking over emails, I did not expect someone who's blind, but I've enjoyed being with you. That says one thing, guys. The sky is the limit, as Sundowns would say. And like I've said before, never limit yourself. Those who insult you, let them insult you. One day you will be something important, and the world will respect you because of you remained who you are. Situations will happen. You are going to be insulted. You lose friends and families. You lose loved ones. But you must take responsibilities. The best thing you can do yourself is to give yourself the highest education. So these things is not easy. Some politicians sometimes say, but it has to be taken up. In my department, I remain an activist. There are 1,000 employees of the Department of Higher Education and Training. There are only 3 blind people. We serve in different provinces. I'm in the main office. I am the face of persons with disability, but I don't want to be the last. I want the situations wherein one day, and we start engaging. We must build a society in a society for them to see our worth. Guys, you're more important. Never undermine yourself. I said this before, I'm going to say it again. Aki special. I'm just fortunate. And I want you to know what this struggle. I might not know your names. Alenzi, some of you is the first time born. But just know what you being here, this opportunity you are getting, Iberiki saying, one day when you apply for government post, you must know what there's someone who will forever says, we must be treated equally. Not because of there is an affirmative action, or 7%. Because of we are more than capable. Yes. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Abut Arnold. I'm not going to dilute what you have said, but what Abut Arnold said, Hore, let the situation not define us. Let not the situation define us. Maybe lately you have seen a minister on the news. Maybe I need to ask you, Hore, do you know who's a minister? Minister of Communication and Digital Technologies. Ntate Solimalaji. Ntate Solimalaji officially opened the roadmap, launched the digital transformation roadmap, and the roadmap for the digital transformation is about efficiency in government, but it's also about equity for our people. It's actually designed to reduce inequality in access to service, to address the barriers to opportunity that come with the inequality. So, Ntate Arnold o re bontshitse gore ntwa e re tsamayang tsela e re tsamayang actually e telele, mara we must not give up. On our line, I have a chief director who's going to give us a purpose of the Disability Inclusion Digital Skills Awareness Program for persons with disability. I think Ume Petro is on the line. Ms. Lindels, over to you.
Thank you, Ms. Kekana. I don't know if you can see me because my camera is a bit dark, but I've just switched it on for a second so that the colleagues can see me. Can you hear me?
Yes, you can. Loud. Thank you.
Are you able to hear me?
Yes. Yes, we can, Petro. You can go ahead.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Ms. Kekana, and thank you to everyone that's in the physical venue. I just switched on my camera for a few seconds so that you are able to see me, just for because we are discussing issues relating to digital technology and online safety, and also building your capacity to understand how to use technologies. And one of the first things that I always tell people when we engage in any environment is that behind a camera, anyone can be behind a camera. So you must make sure that you verify the identity of the person. And one way you can do that simply is by asking them to switch on their camera if you are online with someone. So that's one of the reasons. And then also just to let you to say properly good morning to all of you. And to engage with you. So I'm going to switch it off from now on, just so that I also save bandwidth. So from my side, my responsibility is primarily is to do to tell you why we are doing what we are doing and why you are there. I understand that you've already been asked what your expectations are, and you have already been engaged with. But essentially, this program is part of the Department of Communications and Digital Technologies. And for the rest of this input, I will refer to DCDT, because that's the abbreviation of our department. I'd firstly like to start by telling you a little bit about myself, because I think it's important that you know who I am. My name is Petronella, and that means Little Rock. I do believe that it's always important to know your identity and know who you are. So I would want to put a challenge to all of the participants and anyone in the physical venue to, if you don't know what your name means, to find out what your name means, because in most cases you will realize that the meaning of your name becomes actually the journey or the trajectory of who you become in life. And I believe that my name means Little Rock. It's the female version of Peter in the Bible. And I can be very solid as a rock in terms of being very loyal and very committed to a cause or to people, but I can also sometimes be very hard in terms of not wanting to change my mind about something if I have decided that this is what I want to do. So yeah, it has its ups and it has its positives and negatives. So I'm responsible at the moment in the department for I used to be responsible for gender, disability, youth and children's programs, but there's been restructuring in the department, so now the Chief Directorate is specifically named the Information Communication Technology Transformation Programs. So our main responsibility is to ensure that we look at how do society transform and how does society include women, youth and persons with disabilities, in particular as it relates to the digital environment and the digital economy. And in all of that, we, as the department, our role is to create a digital society and a digital economy that is inclusive and transformative. So in all of that, we needed to look at how do we ensure then that persons with disabilities are also beneficiaries in these processes that the department undertakes. And this program, the Digital Inclusion Program, the Disability Inclusion Program, is one of those programs that the department implements to move the digital transformation agenda. Now, obviously, the department doesn't operate on its own. We are part of a national government, and as that national government, there is a national policy that guides what we do, which is the white paper on the rights of persons with disabilities. And then there's also an international law that prescribes on how we need to ensure that we include persons with disabilities. And that's the United Nations Convention on the Rights of Persons with Disabilities. So that is the context in which this program finds itself. It's not just a program that we are doing for the sake of just doing it. It's about a bigger picture in terms of moving the needle to ensure that persons with disabilities are part of the digital economy and they are also part of the digital society. Now you can sit there and say, oh, all these big English words, what does it actually mean for us? So for you, the main purpose of this program is to capacitate you to understand the opportunities in the digital environment. So there will be some presentations that will be made in terms of giving you information on what are the opportunities in the fourth industrial revolution. There will be presentations made about what opportunities are there in the digital skills environment in terms of the new skills, the new digital careers that's available, so that if you are currently employed and you are not satisfied with what you are doing and you want to consider a new career, then that's an opportunity to look into to see what are the latest careers that is needed for the digital economy and the digital society. if you are still studying or you still want to consider a study course, then you will also get some information about what are some of the study opportunities in the digital environment. And it's not only degree opportunities. There are there's a variety of opportunities that are non-degree opportunities, because the digital environment is of such a nature that you learn a skill, you learn a technical skill, or you gain knowledge in terms of understanding a technology, so that you are able to advise and assist other people, either technically by doing it physically with your hands, or by having the knowledge of understanding how to incorporate that technology into the workplace, into the school environment, and so on. So that's the first purpose of the program. The second purpose is then to give you a digital skill, to at least, I would say, just a very brief introduction to what coding is and how you can code in terms of, and just to whet your appetite to say, this is what it's about. So if I want to go into real coding and real programming, then at least I have an idea of what it's about. And that will be part of the program, because the program is about building capacity in understanding new skills. And then the last area, which is also extremely important, is about discussing and giving you tips on how to be safe when you are actually in the online environment. When you are on your computer, when you are on the internet, when you are engaging on all of these digital platforms, how to ensure that you are safe and that you are protected and that you understand the environment from a safety and an online protection perspective. So those are the three key objectives of the program, but it's ultimately about the bigger objective, which is to ensure that we bring persons with disabilities into the mainstream and not on the periphery as we have been for many years. I did not mention it, but I am a person with disability. I have a vision impairment, and I know I have lived experience of what it is to be disabled in South Africa. And I must say that lots of things has changed, and especially for young people with disabilities, there are vast opportunities that I did not have as a young person, because I know I look young, but I'm not young anymore. So, but you have many opportunities now that I did not have 30 years ago or 35 years ago when I entered the environment of wanting to either study or wanting to either find a job as a person with a disability. So I hope that you will enjoy the program, and I hope that you will understand that the Department of Communications and Digital Technologies and its state-owned entities, because we have 11 state-owned entities that is part of the portfolio that reports to the Parliament through our minister, and you will obviously maybe be exposed to some of them, like Film and Publication Board. The Post Bank will be part of this. NAMISA will be part of this, I think. So yes, that's essentially what this interaction is about. But I want to encourage you, ask questions, engage. There's no stupid questions. There's nothing that we won't be able to, we might not have all the answers, but we will be able to direct you, we will be able to give you information as to where to go or where to find that information, and enjoy the 2 days. Be interactive and enjoy it, have fun as well. And lastly, please remember that the DCDT is committed to ensuring that persons with disabilities is part of the mainstream the digital economy and part of the mainstream digital society. Thank you very much, Program Director.
Thank you very much, Melinders. I just want to ask if they do have any questions that they want to pose to Melinders whilst he's on the platform. Do you have any questions? Yes, Mama Koni said it already. Ukana buaka le try. Any question for Melinders? If you don't have, Melinders, thank you so much. I guess you'll be with us online when we progress with the program. I'm going to give to.
Thank you, Program Director. Sorry, Ms. Kekana. Thank you for the opportunity. And I hope that the no questions is because the purpose is clear. Because I always say to people, don't sit there and then maybe think, okay, I'm going to get a computer, and then on Friday or whenever the program ends, then you leave and then you say, but where's my computer? So just to clarify, the purpose is not, part of the purpose is not to give any equipment. And then maybe somebody's sitting there and they're thinking they're going to be taught how to do fashion design. And then on Friday, there's no fashion design course that was included, then the person is disappointed. So I just want to make sure that the no questions is because we are clear that the purpose is to disseminate information about careers and study opportunities in the Fourth Industrial Revolution. The second purpose is to give you a digital skill, a very basic digital skill in terms of coding. And then the third focus is to provide you with tips on how to be safe when you are on any online digital platform. And then lastly, the overall objective is to ensure that we bring persons with disabilities into the mainstream of the digital economy. I will have to leave for just an hour or so to attend another meeting, but I will come back. Thank you, Chair.
Sorry, Melinders, we have one question here. You can go ahead.
Okay, Melinders, good morning. The name is Offense. I'm also a person with visual impairment. My passion, training of the young people in rural areas in digital skills, more specifically the younger ones in computing, in robotics, and all these things. How does the department help an offense who's in rural villages to empower him to go to the primary schools and prepare the younger ones in these type of technologies for the fourth industrial revolution? So how does offense get that type of a help to empower the younger ones in rural areas? That's my question, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for the question. I think your name is Offensive because you were referring to how does Offensive get help. So I assume that that's your name.
Yes.
Presentation on the digital and future skills strategy of the department. And the question that you are asking, some of the answers will be revealed through that presentation because we have a dedicated strategy that is that works towards enabling South Africans to become digitally skilled from pre-primary to post graduation. So I think that's the first answer. There will be a presentation that will also provide you with further information. But just to say that this program is one of the interventions that we are doing to capacitate adults or persons with disabilities that are adults in terms of giving them the information, but also giving them some of the skills to understand how they can maybe empower themselves to be able to go into that rural area and support other young people. Then thirdly, I would say that if you now specifically Offense has a passion for something like that, then we also work with the Department of Social Development where you would be able to look at if you want to start an NGO, if you want to start a program in schools, then obviously social development would be the the department that you would need to engage with in terms of support for yourself or your NGO. If it's a business that you are wanting to do and you want to skill school children through a business venture, then there is obviously the Department of Small Business, but then there's also, from our side, we have a number of skill courses that is online to assist you to develop your business proposal, to enable you to get your idea concluded, and so on. So there are practical ways that the department supports, but obviously our role as DCDT, our main role is we are providing an environment. We create the environment, the policy environment for these things to happen. But then from a practical point of view, we also do training with organizations in rural areas. And if you have an organization or an entity that is established, that is credible, that has the necessary things in place, and you approach the department, then obviously the department will consider such applications on merit and see how we can collaborate and work together. So I think that would be the answers that I can give to that question. Thank you, Chair. If there's no other questions, then I will be leaving now, but I will come back again.
Thank you, Ms. Linders. I guess we don't have any question on the floor. Thank you. You are released. Thanks. But we are going to call Tate Ofense Haitati. He's a secretary for Moses Kotane Local Disability Forum. As you are aware, welcome us. So as Department of Communication and Digital Technologies, we are in collaboration with the forum. So I'm going to give it to Tate to just give us an overview. Thank you.
Silence is a very, very violent response. Moses Kotane Disability Forum. In the next 3-7 minutes, Moses Kotane Disability Forum is forum people with disability. The forum is ba na leng a disability ko masipala e tsa dikgang tsa bone e dira gore masipala o nne aware ka tsone ke communication platform batho ba bantsi ha re communication platform mo ba re latlha sefa ba nagana gore ke structure re ka re tsa di-funds re ka nna le di-account re ka ira eng ga re dire dilo tseo re batho ba re tsayang ditletlebo le dikgang tsa rona re isa ko masipaleng ga re dula bo meeting ko masipala le bo matoro re ba tlhalosetse gore rona batho ba ba nang le disability ditlhoko tsa rona ke tse di feng. We are in a beautiful presentation ya communications department. Ke dirile note gore maabane go ne go communicate-iwa re ne re bontshiwa programa ga ra e bona. The Department of Communications harafiwa the braille material go re ipalle gore go no go iragala. Di department le tsone re tshwanetse ra di thusa re ska ra di lwantsha rona re na le se se bidwang a lived experience re a tsamaya tsela e bidwang disability re tshwanetse ra dula re ntse re ba ruta. So as Moses Kotane Disability Forum, ke dilo tseo di labalabelang. Rona re na le an ICT program e re santseng re dira together ke Offense as a company, seng Offense as a forum. E leng gore re santse re bua le batho ba ba relevant gore re tseye batho ba ba nang le a disability re ba tsenye into a 12-month training program. Re ba krele stipend de ha re ka kgona maybe 4,500 a month. At the end of the program, I have a 30 laptop. I can go 7 house sites. When I saw in artificial intelligence, ne ke tlhalosetsa bangwe ko meeting o mongwe motona gore yaka di-call center tsa bone di sa bereke sentle re ka ira program e le gore o ka e founela wa bua le metšhini wa re ke batla mang ya lebelela motho programa ya gage ya go setapela appointment ya tsenya appointment eo ko computer ya gage. By the time a tla ha bula computer ka Monday ka 10 o'clock o se Nicolette go ba go bona o tobetsa fela button e be bolela o se Nicolette mo founu ya gage gore your appointment e ready. Ke artificial intelligence rona yaka offense o batla gore a empower people with disability ka dilo tse di tshwanang le tseo. So re na le di-passions, re na le dilo tse re batlang go di labalabela, re tshwanetse ra bereka le di-masepala. Nna ga ke na energy ya gore a re ba toitoileng, na energy ya ka ke gore re partnera jang le bone re ba thuse. Ntate Arnold o bule dilo tse dingwe tse ne di ntshwara high in places I cannot speak right now, because how le motho o na le a disability ya ka offense o phela ka selo se se bitsang a burden of responsibility. Go na le sengwe mo magetleng a gago se se heavy se se leng gore offense ha o le go di-meeting o bo sa bue sentle wa ra batho ba o ba rare people with disability ha ba tla mo temong ba ya go le roga. I cannot do that. We cannot afford to fail. So le ha re le mo temona ke kopa gore re nne diligent mo dilo tse re tlong go di ithuta. Re ithutele gore le the next 10 years dilo tse re di rutilweng mo re santse le ka ruta ba bangwe. Department ha ena go empower batho in the 109 villages tsa Moses Kotane. Di resources tseo ga dio. Ha ba re tlisitse mona ba re tlisitse gore rona re go nna the representatives ya tseo re di thutileng re yo go di isa go ba bangwe. Yaka Moses Kotane Disability Forum re tlo go amogela bontle jo go go amogela jona re tlo go re a leboga. Yaka forum re tlo gore we are not perfect, re thuseng le rona re batho ba ile gore re na le bogole. Batho ba bantsi ha ba roga ba re fiwa magwenya re fiwa di 5,000 tse di rayang le yang ha ba ya go di accountants tsana ba itlhatsetse rena re 11 rand. Go na le challenge le gore ke santse ke batla gore ha ka kopana le president le minister of finance ke batla la se se one gore minister ha re okeletsa ka 100 rand re a leboga and we are grateful. Re go pa ba kgang e lengwe re go pa go tloga ka president le botlhe ba ba bua le bone ba go diwa ka 110 rand. Ha e le gore e re siametse bone gore e sa ba siamela ke di politiki tsa ga offense tseo batho ba bantle re a le rata ba ba tlileng go di thusa re a lamogela e bile re lemogela gore le tlileng go di thusa. Thank you very much. Amen.
Thank you, that the offense. Whatever that the offense said, we have noted and we are learning, right? Yesterday, indeed, I went through with you, reading a program to you. But I can promise you for next time in that the offense is Chamasa Northwest. And as you said, this is a stakeholder approach, Ratlokan. So, Ralitloka, Realitloka. So, I stop it today. We are saying, we are going to learn, to combat this digital divide. So I'm going to call, as already said, this is a stakeholder approach. We are using a stakeholder approach. We have Siafunda. Yesterday we told you that Siafunda will be conducting the training together with the Social Development Fund. So I'm going to ask Awik Bongani just to give you a brief overview of Siafunda before we get into the main training, if Abu Pongani is ready. Okay, I will give it to Malika Honolo just to give us also, those are the stakeholders we are working with, who are actually assisting us to conduct this kind of training. Over to you, Malika.
Thank you so much. Dumela. Legai. Siam. I live Siam. Rona happen today. Khona re bangara go bona mabane. Legai. Ke mama re tutshile mabane. Ke mama re tutshitse mabane. Abate ne re le ka ofela mabane. Okay. Just a recap there of Mabani. My name is Matlokhonana Marukumwebe. I am the founder and director of a foundation called Social Skills Foundation. And Languka Ofenakar. Haki Lefastilum Boteni, Harasa Umantos Hualum Boteni to Bweni, Situana Lisibediaker. Aker? So, ki owner foundation have a design Social Skills Foundation. And what we do with Social Skills Foundation is that transition amounts but disability. Starting from grassroots level, to the special school. I'm sure many of you guys come to the special school. We know the struggle to transition from special school. For a hobby, who can open labor market. So we then thought, we know the problem is transition, but what is the solution? How do we find the solution for it? Disability for it, but transition from special school into the open labor market. We did our research, and then we realized also there's a huge gap here, digital. There's a digital gap. Abud Anand mentioned earlier on when COVID hit, our sector was mostly affected. Our kids were sent back home. They stayed, I think, almost a year because of the digital divide. But concentrating, can we all just be in one room, if it's possible? Are we still here? Thank you. So when COVID happened, they were the most vulnerable. They were the first to be taken out of the system. I'm sure you were all aware of that. But Banaba mainstream, they were advanced for it. They will do online class. They never missed out on work. They were still having their lessons online. But Baru Nabana, they were not, because of the digital divide. And one of the programs that we offer for Social Skills Foundation is how do we bridge the digital divide amongst persons living with disabilities, among special schools, among unemployed youth, among disability organizations. How do we bridge it? Because yes, we do have the computer labs for the special schools, but they're not being utilized. On Legacy Baba Ilendi Special School. They do have the computer labs, but they're not being utilized. Hence now we find ourselves on a huge digital gap. So Sarona primarily today give a digital bridge. To say how do we help disability transition through technology into the other side. I can hope the transition king. What to the other side. But if are not the right tools, we can never. The people are really unemployed. And we live in a world where, if anything, COVID taught us for technology. You can even work from home with technology. Yes. You don't have to go to the office with technology. And that's what we need to teach your corporate sectors, our government institutions, say that it doesn't mean I must come to the office every day. I can work from home remotely through my, Arnold mentioned, gadgets. You have the right equipment, you have the right resources, you are supported, you are able to work from home. And I'm hoping for today, and I hope for a basic understanding yeah, computer, but I'm hoping to do for Harazamaya, or the end of the program Harazamaya. Not about to have something Abud Amal do later, the sky is the limit, nothing is limiting you. He's fully blind, but he has a very good job. Not because we like he mentioned, not because he was favored, not because it was nepotism, but he worked hard. He saw an opportunity, he used it. He utilized technology to advance himself. So I hope for a and then by the time we have a better understanding of what is digital technology. Thank you.
Dumelang. Moloi. Dumelang. Ore ngaure ka Setswana dumelang. 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 Lebitso la Morena a leboge. Okay, guys, I won't say much, just the overview of Siafunda. Okay, my name is Bongani. My surname is Mjila. I'm working at Siafunda, which is one of the providers, training providers, DCDT. So I am an ITE instructor. So basically I'm on the technical support. I train IT and also other technical support programs and so forth. And just so I go where did I start? Basically, I started at Siafunda as a student. I was attending computer course in 2010, right? Just like everyone who wants to know how to use a computer, guys, right? Okay, and then just having lerato la the computer. I loved the computer before I even sat next to a computer. So for an example, I'll go to my friend's place where they have a computer and I will be like, hey, they have everything and so forth. Is that clear? So after completing my course, go Siafunda, and then I started going to Siafunda to use an internet to apply for jobs, or rather just play around, mess around to go internet and stuff. And I will get there from 8 o'clock in the morning until they close at 5 o'clock. So I was a still boy, everything, because I was using the internet for free, guys. Is that clear? And then while it's a year, every time, I think I got Kilemo for 3 months, and then after 3 months, they actually asked me if I could volunteer. So I took that chance. Ali too, guys. Is that clear? So I started doing everything, just like a general worker. Go print, go show this guy how to do things, do this, help customers and so forth. And then while in the kids, I think they saw a potential more because I loved computer and I loved helping people, whatever they came, problem, and so forth. So after that, I started by actually volunteering. I think for almost 2 years, guys. Getting, I think my first voluntary stipend was 250, right? But just because I had passion, charity was not on my mind, guys. Is that clear? And then I had to upgrade, attend the courses, attend so that I can be able to train. So I started after volunteering.
Yeah, which year was that?
Volunteering.
Yes.
It was 2011. 2011, yes. And then 2011 until 2013, I was volunteering. So from 2013 up until 20, because it's 4 years now being in IT. From 2013 until 2021, I was teaching EUC, end user computing, your computer literacy course and stuff, guys. Is that clear? And then I became the main instructor of EUC. And then after that, from 2013, I think it was 6 years, and then I wanted something new, and I had gone into the IT world. Are we clear? Are we clear, guys? Okay, so that's how I started my journey to be where I am now. I've never worked in a corporate company. I've never worked anywhere, but because of the passion Rata Utusa Watu, I've been with Siafunda since 2011, guys. Clear. So let me tell you about Siafunda now. Siafunda, it's a community technology center, guys. Is that clear? So we act as a sort of a hub whereby Rebatla will connect the community through what? Through digital what? Through digital skills, guys. Is that clear?
Yes.
For an example, connecting the community already to socialize, to actually do a lot of programs like understanding how to use computers. We have programs that we normally customers can pay for, and then most of the time we have workshops which are free, where we actually give our community underprivileged background communities of people skills studying computer and so forth. And we also run a lot of programs from programming, coding, your technical support, digital skills, business, what we call business skills, how to start your business from scratch, and particularly to how to get funding and so forth. So Siafunda, I can just say, guys, Siafunda, it's a community. It's not a one-person sort of organization. It's a community organization. Everyone who wants to come into Siafunda, they are welcome, guys. Is that clear? So let me just give away now. Like I'm feeling your askis, guys. Sisutu kapastana kasi wahonos buadle kibua sizul kapaskozene. So please so hence I'm saying we are still trying to work with other organizations so that we can close the gap in digital skills within our communities and stuff. And we have noticed that most of us, we have smartphones, we have laptops, but we can't use them. And most of the time we use this gadget for things that are not adding value into our life. For an example, most of us that has smartphone, we only love to be on Facebook, WhatsApp, and Instagram, TikTok, isn't it? What do you get at the end of the day? Nothing. Instead, you buy more data. So we are here to actually show you guys there are more that you can use using your what we call your devices, your smartphones, as well as the laptop, guys. And I always say, if you love Facebook, if you love social network, you need to check, or rather, you need to do what we call digital marketing, because digital marketing, all these social networks, they are part of digital marketing. So something we rather make it a passion, and then later on we get the income. Thank you.
Raymond, Ronald, we are still gonna have it's a day and a half with them. Actually, they're gonna give us the insight of their training later. But whilst we are here, we are going to take Utate Raymond Sitebo, BPS from Post Bank, who will upskill us and reskill us on financial literacy. Some of the things, as yesterday we said, hey, you got to some matter research, you sent the bank. So they'll probably calculate, I guess, current economy. So the transition here, digital, you need to re-equip also. For those statements, they're going to develop and read to heritage decision in terms of financial management. Get the decisions they look for and gain from what's on. So I'm going to give over to Ntate Raymond to just upskill or skill. Bawamba, Arizo, what is the ledger?
Dumelang. A le tsogile sentle? Ke letse ke ithuta Setswana maabane. Ka gore we learn every day. Mo o tsamayang mo teng wa ithuta. Le today ke ithutile go le gontsi go tswa go Arnold. Ntse ke bolelela batho ba bangwe gantsi ke felegeditse Arnold kwa le ke re ke na le go bua le bana ba dikolo. Ke bua le bona ke le ka go ba rotloetsa. Yaanong today ke tlo go bua le lona. Ke re mo go wena ke re I am because we are. I can only be a person because of others. The reason why I'm saying this is because Arnold was here. He made us to be people. He made us to be person. Ke lekile gore ke ithute nyana le nna ke bale, but go baleng ga ka ga go mpha too much of knowledge. Knowledge always you get it when you are passionate about something. Ga o batla go ithuta selo o batla go nna passionate about it wa ithuta. Ke rata go summarize Arnold before nka tsena mo se ke tlo buang ka sona. Arnold Ari, you were born with a purpose.
Yes.
Do not at any given time let your purpose go down the drain. Trust yourself. Believe in yourself. You will be able to be a better person even in the future. Do not underestimate yourself. I am because we are. I can only be a person because of others. We have to learn every day. I'm able to use a laptop. I'm able to get into the banking systems because I work for a bank. I understand banking systems, how they link from one bank to the other. Just because I'm passionate about it. I've never went to school to study typing, computer. I've never went to school to do that. But no one can tell me about that. There are so many apps or applications or whatever you call them. But because when they are introduced, I want to know. I become passionate about wanting to know. That's when I should be able to know that this is important or not for me. Because not everything will be important for me and for you. We will differ as our purpose are different. Arnold said, maybe even before I speak about Arnold, let me talk about a certain gentleman. You can also Google him. His name is Les Brown. Les Brown. Les Brown, when he was born, a lot of people said to him, he is mentally retarded, meaning he's not okay upstairs. And the minute the people start talking about that in you, you start living that which is making you to become what you are not supposed to become. So people are to the worry. How about what I say when no one else will come up for winner? Would see like us on a scatter for the same one was it you have your own purpose because you were born with your purpose, and our purposes are not the same. Les Brown, after he was told he was mentally retarded, then one day when he was at school, he met a professor from another institution, a higher learning institution, who said to him, never again allow people to say you are mentally retarded. And Les Brown had a vision of becoming a radio DJ. And then what happened to him was he went and applied for a job. He went to a radio station. This morning, he said to the radio station manager, he said, I'm looking for a job. And the radio station manager said, I don't have a job. he left. The following day, he went again to the same radio station, to the same manager. He said, "Good morning, sir. I'm here looking for a job." Then the radio station manager said, "Didn't I tell you yesterday there's no job?" He said, "Yes, I thought maybe somebody resigned." He said, "There's no job." He went again, the following day again. And then he said to the radio station manager, "I'm looking for a job." He said, "Didn't I see you a day before, even yesterday?" He said, "No, I thought somebody died." Then he left. The fourth day, he went again to the same radio station, same manager, said, "I'm looking for a job." And the radio station manager said, "Get yourself busy, go and make me coffee." He got the job. What I'm trying to say to you, passion, purpose was driving Les Brown. He got the job. But that was not the actual job that he was looking for. So they allowed him to make coffee, tea, clean the studios and everything. But when he was cleaning in the studio, he will look at these DJs when they are pressing, when they are talking, when they are doing all these things. And then one day, Les Brown's vision came up. There was a radio DJ who was at work but drinking. And Les Brown, because he wanted to achieve his purpose, it was a night show. He actually helped him to continue drinking more. And then he got drunk until the radio station became quiet. And then the station manager knew that Les Brown was doing night shift. He called him and said, "Les, where's the DJ?" He says, "He's here sleeping, drunk." He says, "Les, can you control the..." He says, "Yes, sir." And then thereafter he says, "I'll tell you what to do, what to press, when, how to do it, and then you can go live on the radio station on your own." Then they gave him 5 minutes. What Les Brown was excited about, he called the mother, the father, the friends and said, "Listen to the radio, I'm about to go live."
Yeah.
Then after he went on live on the radio, from that day, the listeners didn't want anybody else. They wanted Les Brown. Today, as I'm talking to you, Les Brown is an international motivational speaker. He writes books, he motivates at big international events. I happened to meet him personally, and he happened to motivate me also on this. So I want to say to you, there's no limit. You can do whatever you want to do, and you can achieve what you want to achieve. My actual main purpose here is to talk to you about money matters. Madi bagolo. Lo a itse madi? Nna ke ithatela madi bagolo. Ebile ke rata go bua ka madi. Ga mme ela ga tswa fa o buile ka gore re le bantsi re le yana mo matsatsing a gompieno ke a itse gore this is happening. You go to a retailer, go shop, change ya ke 20 rand 10 cent. Aba go 10 cent, how we see sia. Wa e tlogela. Wa ya gape ko kai change ya ke 20 rand 20 cent. How we receive wa e tlogela. Ba tla go lela so se le se. Ke di 20 cent tse kae? Ke di 10 cent tse kae? Ke eng tse kae tse ba di kriyang tse le gore ga ba di kry sentle. Wena ba tlo bona nna ka siama nrope 10 cent. My 10 cent. When the Portuguese arrive here in South Africa, they always say, penny, penny, make a pound. Who knows that statement? Penny, penny, make a pound. We grew up hearing that. And when they say penny, penny, make a pound, they meant every cent counts. Take care of the cent. The rent will take care of itself. You'll never have a rent if you don't have cents. Do I make sense?
Yes.
Do you understand? So if you don't take care of that 10 cent, that's 20 cent, and you have 999.99 rand but to be a millionaire and you don't have a cent, you are not a millionaire. A person who steals 10 cent and a person who steals 1 million rand, they are both thieves. They are both thieves. They steal. Or is there a level or how would you so take care of that cent. It will take care of you. Take care of that cent. Run I tlhokomela yona ka bo yona. Ga ona le di cent tse ding tsa o ntse di batla o tlo go nna le rand. Ha o batla tse ding o nna le rand. Ha o tswa go di rand teng o ya go di 10 rand teng. Ha o tswa go di 10 rand teng o ya go di 100 teng until o fitlha go di million. Ya ke rata gore mo go lona a re ithute go tlhokomela madi, re ithute go save madi, re ithute go re itse madi a dirisiwa yang. Gantsi ga ke bua ka madi ke lokela di subject tse tharo, maybe there before, but o tla di differentiate wena. Ha ke bua ka madi kana re bua ka go save, re bua ka selo ga ke budget, re bua ka selo ga ke sekoloto, re bua ka digital technology ya madi. Wa bona ke dilo tse four. Ga gona o nka bua ka se sa tsene mo dilong tse 40 se seng le se se tlo tsena ka nako ya sona ba di tsama tsotlhe. Remember, you have a purpose. Keep it in mind. Motas kata are okay. I always say to the people, and I like what Arnold said. I always say to the people, nna ke a bua, ga ke fetsa go bua ke a duelwa, because tirwane ke go bua, tirwane ke ratang ke go bua, and ga ke bua ke a duelwa. So I talk and I get paid. I always say to the people, you know what? One thing that Arnold have said today, he said, never. And minutes. 999 times. Hata go ya 1,000 a corner. And when you fail, it means you are learning. You are learning. And you are learning more and you are learning better. When you fail. So, if you learn to save. And the little that you save will make a difference. Yes. That is why today, kuna le batho ba ba nang le madi, mara ba kgona madi a manyane. A kgona go nna le dilo tse dintle, a sa kgone madi a mantsi. O mma kgona madi a mantsi a sena nix. Ka gore go dependa gore o tlhokomela yang madi a gago akere. Yaanong ke tlo go bua ka madi a o tshwanetseng wa save. Ga ke fetsa ke bua ka selo gato ke budget. Ke ma ka mpolelela gore budget ke. Let's argue. What is budget? Budget ke eng? Ga budget o ke ba re a ke na budget, department a ena budget, company a ena budget, eng a gona budget. Ba bua ka eng batho? Kgotsa wena gore budget a ka e tlase, di ko tlase. Di bua ka eng sentle? Ah, mi sa ntse go nkarabe. Yes, ma'am. Okay, Arut.
Ke tsa gore budget ke tekanyetso tabo, meaning ke selekanyetso sa dilo tse ke tlebeng ke di aba go tswa mo tšheleteng e ke nang le yona gore go dira se le se le se ka tšheleteng ke tshwereng. Ke nagana ke yone budget.
Wa itse ka re o e beile sentle ka Setswana se se tlhapileng. So, wonka o buile ka madi a nang le one ke tshimologo ya budget. Re ka re gape ka budget le madi a e le goreng o tlo go a dirisa. So go mafoko a mabedi a dirisitseng a botlhokwa gore a re fe gore ka nnete how to define a budget or define everything.
Is a draft plan for the month.
It's a draft plan for the month. It's a draft plan for the year. It's a draft plan for 2, 3 years, 10 years, whatever. So we can easily say it's a draft plan for a particular period. Omungakare, wabona ka ithutile no. Ki ithutile no go bua ka gore budget ka Setswana ke tekanyetso ya madi. Tekanyetso kabo ya madi. Ya no, se ke batla go bolela sona ke gore ha re bua ka budget go mafoko a mane or I4 a re buang ka one. Le la before ke ithutile lona ntse ke tsamaya ke kopana le batho ba tshwanang le lona yana. Go na le chief director ya department a ba re lefoko le le la bofo la go bua ka budget e kile. Ya no ne ke re mo go lona ke re ke mafoko a mafeng a o itha gore ha re batla define a budget ro bua ka ona mafoko a I4 le buile ka ona mare ke a batla individual ga re fetse re tse mafoko a le ra kopanye re ile budget re tlhalosa gore budget ke o ka nna pona one you don't have to give me all 4 ka nna phale you don't have to be logic ka nna pona ka bongwe ka bongwe. Okay, take le fela go se le simololang ke madi a o na le lona a le gore wa fitlhetse somewhere ra re ke income. So le fokela ntlha yo go nna income madi a wa fitlhetse e ka nna a child grant e ka nna bonus e ka nna salary e ka nna tšhelete o e fileng ke malome or tšhelete o e fileng ke girlfriend or o e fileng ke boyfriend or tšhelete o e fileng ke husband or o e fileng ke wife or as long as go na le madi a tseneng mo go wena as a tsena ra re o na le income ra utlwana. And o tshwanetse o ithuta gore ga o dirisa madi a gago wa dirise sentle. Re na le tendency ya gore re sia di-10 cent le di-20 cent. It's an expense ra senya. E latelang lefoko le le latelang gape ke expenditure. O spenda yang madi a gago. A ke o ka se spend o sena budget o sena income ne o tle ko governmenteng or ko parlamenteng or yaanong ga re fetsa mo malobeng mo ne ba bua ka budget a ke gore Department of Finance, Minister of Finance a re ke kry-ile di-trillion tse kana ke tlhoka di-trillion tse kana gore ke kgone go dira tiro e rileng. So ga kry-a tšhelete yena o e kry-a in a form of tax. Income ya gage ke tax. Ga fetsa o tseya tax ela o tshwanetse a bane le expenditure. Expenditure gage ke gore ke fa department ya mapodisi bokae, ke fa masole bokae, ke fa education bokae, ke fa mang bokae, ke fa mang bokae. Okay. Then ga o fetsa o dira yana go diragala mafoko a mang ke a mafeng. Ga tšhelete ya go e lekana ra reng, ga e sa lekane ra reng. Okay, re tlo gore ga o na le income o fetsa go prepare expenditure ya gago ka fa o ka nna le surplus go gore ga ba re o na le surplus go ra gore o spendile ka fo tlase ga madi a o nang lona so madi a go a irang a sales so ra re surplus go na le lefoko la bo 5 yaanong ga o le ka wa kry-a le gore o spendile kgotsa o entse tekanyo kabo ya madi go feta income ra re o na le shortage kgotsa deficit ne so gore income ya e go tsentsha mo dikolotong wa bona sekoloto sa tsena yana kgotsa o na le income ya 10 rand o spend that 10 rand ra re o breakile even o budgetile sentle but it's not always advisable o budgeta yana now ga re tse lefoko le budget re le tlhalose re dirise lefoko le income, expenditure, deficit, surplus or break even. Ga o itse mafoko ao go go nna botoka for wena gore o tlhalose gore budget ke eng. And the minute o dula fa fatshe, the most important thing ke income le expenditure list. The minute o dula fa fatshe o prepare se lona le reng ke budget gantsi ke expenditure list. The minute o dula fa fatshe o tsa expenditure list o kwala gore go go reka ske ke kopa re bue ka personal budget ya motho only one or motho or ya lelapa a family. A bue ka budget ya family, re bue ka expenditure ya teng. How kwala that expenditure list o e kwala o reng? Correct. We kwala based on your salary. But you are not o kwala in mo list.
The needs.
Okay, the needs, correct. Ya no putse mo ya ka ke gore go na le di needs le di wants. Di needs ke dilo tse le gore o ka se tshele kwa ntle ga tsona. Di wants ke dilo tse le gore wa kgona le go tshela kwa ntle ga tsona. Okay, ya no a re bue ka gore ga o kwala mo o kwala eng mo listing ya gago ya expenditure gore o tse madi a o fa spenda mo listing ye. A ke batla go tlhaka go fa sekai ke batla go bolele o go kwala eng. Aha, ke batla tsona tseo. You are getting there. O go kwala eng. A Yeah. Okay, mme fa a re ro kwala dilo tse o di tlhokang go di needs. Ke batla list ya di needs. Combo ya grocery. Okay. Ay, o tla sentle e-commerce. O tla sentle. Ke rata lefoko leo e-commerce. A re ukentana. Wa gantlo. Ke opinion ya gaga ke se ke la re ate. Yena re wa gantlo. Mara ga o a gantlo, ga o no kwala mala wa re ntlo. Ba tseta go a gantlo ntlo. Ke a gantlo. A re kwele ko e-commerce, o ka e-commerce. E-commerce. A re simole. I share with la bukalari 2 kg of la bubi 2 kg are e-commerce maybe 500 ml or 1 liter e-commerce. What come to in a budget? Aha, 2 liter fish oil. One good on killing. Ya no, a re kwele ko budgeting ena ya government or ya business. Takitse department ya SSL. Wa bona le tlilemo. Ba ile budget akere. Ba re finance e re file 100 rand. Ba re 100 rand teng 10 rand ya ko projecting ya early mo go yona today. Se si ela le mo mamdlane mo se le mo auskobi ba nna fa fatse ba 10 rand ai sa go northwest. Ba thaba ka mo northwest. Wa bona le ya theta go ga chelete. Rand ai la go northwest ba re 10 cent ya transport. 20 cent ya accommodation. 50 cent kia dijo, and then go sala kai kia marobalo and so on. Ha re tsena fa wena o attendi o bone re rekeleng di computer ga ba go araba bone ba gore
It is not budgeted.
ba gore ga ra e budgetela ebile ba ka se re ga rena tšhelete ga ra e budgeteng ga eyo mo mading a tekanyetsokabo e re nang le yone gompieno. You must do the same at home. You must do the same at home. Ga o le ko gae o na le budget o ira budget a ke gola 50 rand expenditure list ya gago e tshwantse in a specific, and you must also stick to it. Ska re ga o fetsa go kry-a o kwala list ga o tsena ko mbolong or ko dishopong wa kry-a mo ngaletsa tloko sale ga motho a re sale o ra gore a rekisentswa a mapele ga a letsa sale o ra gore o ra gore ke batla go tlhaloganya re a re kare go na le sale fa why le reka ko teng o sa go reka ko dilo tse o di kwadileng
Less price.
Less price o cheapile re ke go baakanyetse ke a go baakanya yaanong ga ba kwadile mo la boto ba re house for sale ba ra gore ka Setswana ba ra gore
ya rekisiwa
house for sale motho ola a tshwereng tlhoko ba re sale o ra gore ke a rekisa ga a re ke cheapile utlwana lefoko la gago sale a tlatse ka nnete ke a rekisa full stop ba botlhe ba ba re ba na le ditlhwatlhwa tlase le o ka ya kwa Clicks wa ya kwa Shoprite ba botlhe ba re ditlhwatlhwa tsa bona di ko tlase even Woolworths bo gore ba ditlhwatlhwa tsa bona di ko tlase be ba differentiate ka ka gore bona ba rekisa quality yaanong ne kere re ithuteng gore ga re etsa budget re beng specific and then re direng sentle ga ke feleletse ga kwala list ya go ya di-expenditure se ke be wa kwala wa re grocery ko shopong ga gona ntho ba e rekisang ba re ke grocery. You write items individually so and their sizes and their weight. How fit? O tlhokomele gore madi a se ke be a feta your income. Mme ga o batla go save savings ga e emele gore go sale madi o e tsenya pele mo listing ya expenditure. Se ka re wena o tlo save madi a se ka se sale gore a ro ka se save. And ga re save madi ra savela tsatsi le go nang le mathata ke ene ne ke re mo go lona ke re go simolla today a re bueng ka madi se ka tshaba go bua ka madi o se ke wa felletsa le go dikolotong ga di a siama ene go a kgonega gore o tswe ko dikolotong tlogela gore ga o bona lekgowa a apere setlhako sela ba re ke or apere Louis Vuitton wena ba re wa e batla mara o e afford ka minute wa ka o bofelo mpotseng dipotso
a ke bue ka the psychology of selling go lapeng re na le shopo ga dio di sa rekiwe ne re di tsaya re di tlisa mo pele be re kwala sale price ga ya change ba ka go le ditlile mo pele batho ba na le website ba na ba simolola go di reka
so ke psychology of marketing and okay. So go tswa mo go wena gore ga o reka selo o se reka based on what o mongwe a ka re why ba re sale ai go ra se na le matsapa or se ga o feel expire or one tlhaloganya so ga o reka or whether your expenditure list e etse in such a way that wa itse ra ke tswa ke tsena ko Shoprite ke a tswa ke tsena ko chemistry kgotsa ko Clicks ke a tswa ke tsena ko kae ke a tswa ke a gae ske ba mo tsele motho a letsa tlopa go deraila from your plan because that particular person the minute I go deraila from your plan are mo wena so skwedile mo wa hlanya dira se sabetse maela ke a lebo the day during the sessions re tla kopana le botse dipotso oh okay
mo income e motho ana le yona for the savings o ka save how many percent I get out of 100% e o na le yona ke maybe una le 30 rand o ka save percent tse kae for the savings
wa bona ke tlo go bolela so ke se ditlhokwa tsa rona ga di tshwana ne o mongwe tlo ba tlo save 10% of the income which is relevant to whatever the experts are talking about. Mara o kra le gore madi a wa kreang le di expenses tsa gago ga di kgone go leta go save 10%. O mongwe tlo go save 10% but wa kra le gore madi a ga mantsi le ditlhokwa tsa gagwe di dinyane to the extent or ona le kwa kra thusengwe go teng to the extent ya gore o kgone save 40% or 50%. So I would advise gore ga o batla go save kwena tshantse o ipele tekanyo kabo ya gore ga ke gola 30 rand ke batla go save either 5 rand or 10 rand or bokae go tswa mo go wena but ntwe go tlhokwa go gore make sure that you save every month and then whatever you are saving for leave that money for that specific goal that you are saving for. Thank you.
I will pray for the inside. Remember, we relevate for Canan, later, very Caribbean, Creighton, David. Didn't come left, they come right to have it. So, without actually wasting time, let's get into the main training. The main training. And before that, I just want to find out from you, when can we break for lunch?
Can I answer that one?
Yes.
Lunch has been set for 1:30.
For 1:30?
Yes.
Okay.
Because actually it's in collaboration with the preparations of the hotel.
Yes.
So they'll be ready at 1:30. Maybe what we can discuss is for lunching so la oje ofetse oboe.
Which is true. But the metsotso okay, an hour from now on. So I will call Me Makhokonolo Mwapi from Social Skills Foundation, who will actually unpack the basic digital skill training. So we are going to already May? Okay. Retreat for an hour because really we set to come around that. That Ongani Uramiti Lenaka for IR coding and. So I'm not sure today what time are we going to knock off. But let's see how the day progresses. Do you want to stretch time 2 minutes or?
Yeah, maybe let's do a 5 minutes leg stretch. I agree.
Leg stretch for 5 minutes. Kapile fell and then restarting behind. Bar level to go high for our country. Those people by Saviana. So 5 minutes. Literally 1 minute. 5 minutes and then Rabua, maybe so on a low. Okay, when I like Hoka, when I was a Mama Baros Maile, and so by Hoka or a by Toki, but I don't know 5 minutes.
Right.
Big guy. Are we still good? Okay, we're getting into the interesting part of why we are here.
Yeah.
So, by a show of hands, ne, ke a gopola hore maabane ne re identify le gore re na le batho ba ba leng totally blind by 80, ba partial blind by 7. It still stands le today. O gona le ba ba lokile. Ba o kgethegile. Se ba le kae today? By 9. Okay, so Baba lead the smartphone by guy. Baba link total blind makona berekisa the smartphone. Okay, there's one, there's two. Marana gonna laptop. Okay, so when I berekisa smartphone sa gago o ka berekisa laptop. Ausi man. Ausi Nicolette. Laptop. Okay, Baba Nandi laptop, but give Mama a smartphone. Come for Baba Nandi laptop or a smartphone. Mara, come for laptop. Okay, Nico share a fellow. Why, Lina? You guys didn't get that? You only got one laptop. Okay, I think Kimo, maybe Mulligan. Hey, yeah, my guy. YouTube. Yeah. Oh, I missed my phone. Okay.
Why so I cannot make my laptop?
But yeah. Okay, guys, give Mama's my phone that we need a laptop. Let me also give you guys my laptop. Where's my laptop? Oh, I'm using it. Okay, well, no laptop. More can partially blind.